I told a story, not with the stroke of a pen, but with the depth of my soul, not by the light of the night, but with the window of my eyes. You smiled, and we touched. In our impatience, we rushed to each other's arms, despite the fear and the alarms. I let you past the pain, past the shudders, between our sweet and secret mutters. You wrote all over my body, passing from chapter to chapter, filled with cooling and warming rapture. We started at the end, but how did we begin?
So Sugar Hill is my 17th book. 17. It's a lot. And I never really know where the titles of my stories come from. So when I began to write Sugar Hill, again, I didn't know who I was going to write about. Didn't know the characters. I didn't know the plot. But I knew it was going to be about love. And when I began to write about Danielle and began to know her, I began to identify her past. And she was called Sugar when she was younger. And Sugar Hill is her name, and I wanted the story itself to be centered around her. So it's a little play on words. It isn't a thing, it's a person. And I think that when you think about Sugar Hill, it's going to give you that Love Jones 90s type of poetic vibe. So I always have a message in my books, unknowingly, and it's always about redemption. My characters are trying to redeem themselves when it comes to love or when it comes to loving somebody. And when you read the book Sugar Hill, I want you to identify what Danielle is technically doing wrong. Because again, when you're meeting new people and when you're learning new people and you're trying to allow them into your space, it takes a certain type of comfort and trust for that to happen. And so I want people to identify their comfort zones, identify why they're not vulnerable, identify how they can be vulnerable, and then also be a little bit more risky when it comes to getting to know somebody new. Get out of your head, because I promise you it's probably all in your head, and actually talk to the person, communicate with the person, spend time with the person. And I promise you, almost all those thoughts, at least half of those thoughts, would just fade away when you just allow yourself just to be in that space with that person. So with Sugar Hill, I hope that you guys get an idea of another way to love, another way to communicate.